I remember when I was in fifth grade and I was reading Harry Potter, or if you get pissed off by the American version, I was reading Harry Potter, and I loved it. I mean, I read the entire series, all 7 books, in like 2 months. Like, I did the math, like 60 days is 2 months, right? And there's about 4,000 pages. It's like 66 pages a day I was reading, which like now that's like super daunting. But then I would just like fly through it. And it's not like I was reading like every single day, right? So it's like some days I'd probably be reading like 100 chapters just straight in a day. And it's just like, looking back, it's like, how did I do that? Because now I'm reading this. It's a book on sales because I'm trying to educate myself on sales. And I started reading it. You could probably see the bookmark in there, right there, right? Dude, I read till page 18. It took me like an hour to read that. I had to force myself to just sit down and read. Like, that was the first chapter I read. I just had to sit down and force myself to read. And like, I was like, finally I'm done. And I look at the page number, it's only 18 pages. When I used to read as a kid, there was just like so much wonder, and like it was just like so fun. It's like how we treat scrolling now. It's like that's how I read back then. You know, when your parents are like yelling at you to like get off the phone, or get off like Fortnite, or like some shit, or like whatever games you play, get off Minecraft, get off the Xbox, get off the PlayStation, get off the Nintendo. When I was in fifth grade and I was just like obsessed with reading, I've read all the time. My parents would yell at me for reading too much. Like, think about that. I was reading so much, like so much that it made my parents mad. My parents would like set up the table for dinner and everything, and then I'd just be sitting here, just like with my nose in a book. You know, you know that term, with your nose in. I always have my nose in the book, and they would yell at me because I kept reading for so long. And it's like, yo, how did I do that? Like, what happened to reading? Remember when reading was fun? What happened? Like, a lot of people say it's like, oh, because we started going to school and school made us read these books that we don't want to read. And, we just lost interest. It's like, oh, the teacher's forcing us to read a book. I don't, like, because whenever someone makes you do something, even if you wanted to do it before, the fact that you're being told to do it just takes the fun out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you do all your chores and stuff, and like, but like before your parents tell you, before like they yell at you, like, oh, why didn't you do this yet? Why didn't you take out the trash? Why didn't you do your laundry? Like, you do it all first, and you just feel good. You just feel good about yourself. But then when your parents tell you to do it, like, oh, go do your laundry, it's like, it's not the same. You're just like, oh my god, bro. I don't want to do my laundry. When you do it yourself, right? Like, have you ever seen that, like people joke about, like, I've seen like videos or like memes or something, where someone will be like, me on the way to do my laundry without my mom telling me, and then on the way to me doing my laundry, my mom tells me to do my laundry, and then now I don't want to do my laundry anymore, right? It's like that. That's probably a reason, like, because school made us read, that we don't like reading. But I think it's more just like scrolling. Like, our attention spans are so messed up that we can't sit down and just read. Like, dude, 18 pages was such a struggle for me. And the fact, like, I read like hundreds of pages in a single day. Like, how did I do that, bro? And like, also, like, when it comes to books like these, right? Like, you guys recognize these? Like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, everyone's read this. Big Nate, I mean, it's a little less popular, but I know a lot of people still read it. But honestly, like, I find myself reading these, and like, I really like reading these because they're kind of stupid, like, and there's a lot of pictures. So like I could read one of these in a sitting. I could sit down and like for like 2 hours I can finish this book, and it's like fun. And like, I like the amount of fun I get from reading one of these now. It's like, that's what I had when I was reading 100 pages of Harry Potter, or like 100 pages of Percy Jackson, like those fantasy type books, right? And it's like now I'm trying to read those fiction type books because maybe it was like, okay, maybe the books I'm trying to read now, like this one, is about sales. You know, it's like it's nonfiction. It's not super interesting. Sell or be sold. You know what I'm saying? I have some other books. Like this book, everyone knows this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Or like, yeah, I mean, I have a couple other like self-help books, like The Millionaire Fast Lane and stuff. But you know, you just those types of books. I mean, I feel like it's better to just like read a little bit, pick up some like habit from the book, like How to Win Friends and Influence People. It says smile more. So then you read that, you learn about, okay, why should you smile more? And then you go outside and you smile more, and then you reap the benefits of smiling more. And then now you've created a habit because you did something, you got a reward, and now you felt good about it, so now you want to do it more. With these books, it's kind of just like, it's just information, and it's like, it's not always exciting. So I remember when I was in 10th grade, I think, we read The Great Gatsby. And I didn't read it, but like I read like a couple pages just to like, you know, participate in the discussions like in the Socratic seminars in class, just to make sure like make it look like I read the book, but I didn't. But then like a year ago, I started reading The Great Gatsby again because I was just like, I watched the movie and I was like, oh, the story's actually kind of interesting. Maybe I should have read it in class. So I started like a year ago. I got it on my Kindle because it was free on the Kindle store, and I still haven't finished it. Like, oh, hold up. Like, I have my Kindle right here, which honestly I need to use more because I need to read more. But I like using Kindle to just read and just fall asleep. But this Great Gatsby book, dude, it's been a year and I still haven't finished it. But I finished Harry Potter in 2 months, the whole series. So it's just like, it's so hard to read. Look, like 89%. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, I read the book 89% in like a year. Maybe it was 6 months. I don't know when I got it. But it's so much harder to read now because I think it's just like attention span. Because now I'm not in high school anymore, and then like I just finished my first year of college, and I had English class, but we didn't read books. Like we read more like articles and like short stories, but we didn't read like full out in books. So, and then now like I'm done with English, I don't have to take English anymore. So like I don't have teachers telling me or professors telling me, oh, you gotta read books. Like I don't, like that's not a factor for me. It's just, how am I gonna enjoy myself reading, just like sitting down and reading for like 3 hours when I have easy access to like Instagram Reels or TikTok, and I can just scroll for that same amount of time. It's not like, it's like you going about your day and there's just like crack right in front of you. And it's just like, you can go about your day and like, that's good, right? But there's also just crack in front of you and just like, you could do it and it's gonna feel great, but it's horrible for you, obviously. And like, it's a pretty oversimplified explanation, but it's like social media is low-key crack, dude. It's low-key, like it's low-key a drug. Like the way like it messes with your head and stuff. So like reading, it makes reading tough. And like I know, you know, there's people that scroll on social media and also read. And maybe I'm just weird, you know, maybe I just can't do both. Maybe I'm just like super extreme and I need to be super dialed in and I can't have Instagram or TikTok or YouTube on my phone. But yeah, like I want to get back to that point where reading is just fun. So that's why like I bought this. I got this book, Spin Selling, right? Which I'm trying to read because I want to improve my like my knowledge on sales, and I want to be able to implement this stuff like in my job, and then also like to progress to other roles. But I also am trying to get more fantasy type books that I could just kind of read at night. I think like reading at night is like really nice because like I feel like I get the best sleep when I just read, and I get kind of sleepy, like your eyes start closing, they get heavy, and then you just fall asleep. So it's like that's why I got the Kindle, because it's like I can just turn off the Kindle, because like I've had so many times where like I'm reading a book in bed and then I wake up and like the pages are like folded or in something because I slept on the book or something. Or it's like, and it's also like with the book in bed, the light, like I used to use a flashlight or I used to use like a lamp, but it'd always be too bright and then like it'd mess with my sleep, because like I'm really like I'm I'm re- I'm bad at sleeping, so like a little overthinking and I just like I can't fall asleep. But like yeah, man, I want to get back to that point where like reading is just fun, you know. And like I want to be able to enjoy a book like this. Like imagine I could just sit like people say like, oh, just read a book a week, right? And then by the end of the year you'll finish 52 books. It's like, yo, how do I read this in a week? It's like, and it's not even a long book. Dude, I was looking at the pages. This book is like 200 pages. It's not long at all. But it's just like so daunting to me. And to think that like just, what is it, like 8 years ago, I think The Goblet of Fire is the longest Harry Potter book. I think it's like 800 pages. Like to think I read that book in probably like 2 weeks. Like 800 pages, 400 pages in a week. Like that's crazy, right? And oh man, I really want to get back to that. Because like imagine like part of your day, like you just take 2 hours out of your day and you just read. Like that's like instead of the time that you relax, when you relax like at the end of the day and you're like scrolling on your phone or you're watching YouTube videos on your computer or you're watching some show, just before you sleep, right? What if you just read? What if you just read a book, right? Like think about how different of a person you would be if you just started reading all the time. I always find like those types of people so interesting when they like people just read. Because like I know what that's like because I was like that, but like now I need to get back to that. So you gotta read too, right? If you're watching this video, I know you probably feel the same way if you've like watched this far, right? So, still read these kinds of drop that shit. Still read these types of books like Spin Selling, How to Win Friends and Influence People, based on like what you want to do, right? If you want to learn a skill, if you want to be like better with communication and like how to win friends and stuff, right? Read those books during the day. But what I've started doing is read the fantasy books, fantasy fiction, right? Like I'm reading The Great Gatsby right now. Read those books at night. So they're kind of just like, because they're just like, you don't really want to be thinking at night, right? Because you want to fall asleep. So that's why I read the fiction books at night, so I can just like, think about this like fictional universe that doesn't even exist. That's all that's on my mind, and I could just like slowly drift off. Instead, my bookmark just came out because I just yanked that shit. But like books like this, I think are good to read in the morning because it's like you can read. Let's say you open up this book, right, and you just open up to a random page, and you find something like, and you find a principle, right? So like this book has principles. So it's like I read this: show respect for other people's opinions, never say you're wrong, right? So that's one thing that this book teaches: is to respect people and their opinions, because telling someone they're wrong is just kind of rude. It's gonna make them dislike you. Always show respect for people's opinions. So now that I read this, I can go on with my day and be like, okay, I'm gonna try to implement this, right? And then slowly, I'm just gonna keep it in mind, try to do it more and more, try to respect people's opinions, not tell people they're wrong, make them feel like, don't make them feel stupid, right? Because if you tell something wrong, you're gonna make them feel stupid, right? So now I think about this, and I go through my day, and I do what that says, and slowly it just becomes a habit. That's why I like to read these books in the morning, because you're fresh, you wake up, and you know you kind of just absorb knowledge more. I feel like when you wake up, you absorb knowledge better. Like, when people say, when you wake up first thing, like if school, or like you're studying for like some big test, like the first thing you should do is like wake up and you should study, because that's when your mind is like, nothing else is on your mind, right? And then when you're just trying to fall asleep, you're trying to wind down, you read the fictional books like The Great Gatsby, that's about like some guy that's trying to woo over some girl, they're both super rich, and like they have a bunch of money, and someone dies and stuff. It's like, it has nothing to do with like your real life, and you're not thinking about yourself, you're just thinking about this fake world, and then you just read and you fall asleep. And you can do both of those together, one in the morning, one in the night, and slowly push out, right? Like the time that you would instead be scrolling, you would just read, and you slowly push out the scrolling time, and you replace it with the book time, and then reading will be fun again, hopefully.